Good morning and welcome back to Grandma Susie's Kitchen. I'm Grandma Susie. Today we're going to be making keto flatbread. So it's a keto recipe, which means that it has no sugar and it's very low in carbs. It has only a couple of grams of carbs. It's going to be cooked in a pan on the stove. So let's get started. First I want to assemble my supplies and ingredients. We're going to need some organic natural fiber, that's psyllium, some superfine almond flour, baking soda, 2 sheets of wax paper and a rolling pin, a spoon, a cup of water, some paprika and garlic, and some olive oil. Before I start, I like to measure all the ingredients into containers and I can add them all at once. There's almond flour, olive oil, a half cup of water. This is psyllium husk, also called Metamucil, the plain Metamucil. There's some paprika, garlic granules, and salt, and baking soda. Then we can put them all into the bowl. I just want 1 teaspoon of the olive oil. The rest I'm going to use for cooking in the pan. Just mix it around with a spoon. As you mix it, it becomes thicker. It's becoming more doughy now, starting to cling together. That's because the psyllium is absorbing the water. It's starting to hold together and become a dough. You can add a little more almond flour if it's too loose or sticky. You don't want it to be sticky, you want it to be firm, to form a ball shape. Okay, after your dough has become firm and not sticky, you can let it sit for 10 minutes so that all the moisture will be absorbed. It helps to let it sit for about 10 minutes before you use it. Okay, after you let it sit for 10 minutes, it becomes a dough consistency. And if you touch it, it shouldn't stick to your fingers. You want to be able to roll it out without it sticking. I think what I'll do is dust it with a little almond flour when I'm rolling it out, and that will keep it from sticking. So I'm going to sprinkle some almond flour on the paper. I'm going to put some big spoonful of the dough down, maybe 2 spoonfuls. I can make 2 different pieces of bread. Sprinkle some more almond flour on top and set the other piece of wax paper on top of that. And I'm going to use the rolling pin. It's easier to do this with 2 hands. I'm holding the camera. So that's not sticking much because of the... As you can see, get a nice flat piece of bread. Next, I get my flat griddle. I turn on the heat to medium. I poured the rest of the olive oil on there. Take a paper towel and just smear it around like that till it's all evenly coated. Let it get pretty hot before I put the bread down. You don't want too much oil on there, just a coating. And I take my piece of bread and lay it right down. I'm going to let that cook. It cooks for about 2 minutes on one side, and then when it starts to dry out and get bubbly, then I'll turn it over, cook it on the other side. It cooks, it starts to rise a little bit, it gets fluffier. You can check the bottom, see if it's ready to turn yet. Give it another minute. I want it to be cooked thoroughly all the way through. I think this is ready to flip. Look at the bottom, it looks like it's turning brown. Just put your spatula under it and flip it over. Like that. And let it cook on the other side. You can keep checking the bottom. Also, if you press on it, you can see if it's doughy or if it's firm. Okay, you can see this has become very fluffy, so we can remove it from the heat. Put it on the plate. Then we'll grab the other one, put that one down. Just flip it right onto the pan like that. Okay, let's check this one and see if it's ready. It started to fluff up a little bit. Get rid of some of that flour. Yeah, it looks like it's probably ready to turn. Nicely brown on the bottom. You want to be sure it cooks all the way through. So we'll let it sit for 2 minutes. This one has risen quite a bit. It's gotten big and fluffy, so it's ready. We can turn off the heat and turn it out onto the pan with the other one. And I like to add a pat of butter to them while they're still warm. Nice buttered bread, homemade buttered bread. To show you the consistency, it has a soft, buttery consistency, and the flavor is mildly spicy. If you like, you can turn it into a sandwich. You can add a scoop of guacamole, which is avocado with hot peppers, some mild bell peppers, and a handful of, then to eat it, you can just fold it over. Thank you for joining me today on Grandma Susie's Kitchen. Hope to see you again next week. Stay safe, be happy, and everybody take care. Bye.